Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another edition of my college football top 10 best bets. We're on to week number 5. Doing this video a little bit earlier. It is only Monday as I'm doing it, so that's kind of where the lines are at. If you're someone watching this video on Friday or even Saturday morning, I'm sure the lines maybe moved a little bit, but just trying to get this video out there earlier so more people can see it. Obviously, once week 5 happens, this video will be rendered pretty much completely useless because this is, specifically bets for week number 5. Looking at my week 4, guys, it started off with a bang and it ended with a whimper. I started off 3-0 in my early slates. I ended up 5-4-1. The Indiana Western Kentucky total there at the bottom was 64, so that was a push. The one game, Buffalo was up 35-7 and they nearly lost. What are you going to do with something like that? But guys, it's a fresh week. Let's get into it. I've upgraded a little bit, as you guys can see. Take a look at this. Oh, I love the fall. I love it. And as you can see, the first bet, it's a Friday game, trying to get on a roll early. Utah State plus 8.5 versus BYU. Utah State is at home, coming off a tough loss. I'm liking Utah State to keep it within a touchdown or so. 8.5 is a big number. BYU, I will say, I've bet on them recently. They've been phenomenal this year. I think they're up to 13th in the AP poll. But I think it's going to be a little bit of a closer game. BYU probably still wins it, but Utah State, this is a team, they're at home on a Friday night. The crowd's going to be rocking plus 8.5. I like them covering 8.5. It's going to be a closer game than maybe a field goal type game in that crazy Friday game. So hopefully I get off to a good start. And then we move on to the Saturday games. It is Charlotte at Illinois. This is a noon start time. The under 54.5. Illinois, this is a team not great on offense. They've been pretty bad this year. I believe they're 10-point favorites. Charlotte surprisingly has been pretty good. But guys, these are those noon games. They're sleepwalkers. These teams, they're not ready. There were so many games last week. I was so pissed I didn't bet the under. All of these noon games normally go under. The college kids are sleepwalking. They're not ready. At Illinois, that's an 11 a.m. Central start time, and you're facing a team like Charlotte. You're probably not going to be amped up for the game. Illinois, what are they, 1-3, 1-4 on the season? I know they played that week 0 game, so I think they've played more games than everyone, but the under 54.5, that seems like a pretty easy hit to me. I don't see these two teams scoring a whole lot of points. Number 3, Pitt at Georgia Tech, the under 57.5, and this is another one of those games. Actually, I remember. This was the game. Kenny Pickett, the Pittsburgh quarterback, I'm expecting him to come back down to earth. He's had an absurd start to this year. I was looking, 15 touchdowns, 1 interception in 4 games played. That pace will not keep up. He's due for a bad game. Georgia Tech, not great on offense. I see this under a 57.5 hitting easily. That's another noon game, by the way. How about this one? Don't overthink it, guys. North Carolina minus 18 versus Duke. Duke was in a bit of a battle with Kansas last week, but give me here North Carolina. Kansas is pathetic. North Carolina, after their really disappointing loss last week, I believe, to Georgia Tech, people are down on them. They're only 18-point favorites here. Sam Howell, Josh Downs. This game has 56-7 written all over it. An 18-point cover is too easy. I was thinking about it. Is 18 points too much? Guys, don't overthink it. This is an overreaction by Vegas. UNC's really not that bad of a team. Sure, they got beat badly last week. They're at home against Duke, a team that struggled with Kansas last week. Come on, 18, they're going to cover that easily. They only got to win by 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns and they cover, guys. Moving on to number 5, Minnesota at Purdue, the under 47.5. Yes. This is another, these teams, they sleepwalk. They sleepwalk early. Minnesota, we saw their offense against Bowling Green. They can't throw the ball. They can't run the ball without Ibrahim. He's out for the year. We obviously know that. Tanner Morgan completely has regressed. They have no weapons, with Rashard Bateman off to the NFL. And Purdue, we kind of a concern at quarterback. Who are they going to start? They do have David Bell, who's a really good receiver, but their past 2 games have gone way under. So I expect this one to be that's another, I believe, noon start time in West Lafayette. So that is a small number, 47.5, but I still do like the under in that one. Number 6, Toledo, minus 26 at UMass. I hate to do it with UMass, but 26 is simply not a big enough number. If Toledo was like minus 30, I might not want to bet this. But the thing with UMass, I did it last week. I picked Coastal Carolina to cover 36. I mean, they won like 59-3, or it was like 56-6 or something. UMass is one of the worst teams in FPS. I actually think New Mexico State is the worst team in FPS, and Akron is the second worst team. That's according to ESPN's FPI, but UMass is right down there. That one should be an easy cover for Toledo. You're looking at 4 touchdowns, but Toledo is a good team. They are a good team. This one, UCF at Navy, the under 56. This is the ultra lock of the week. UCF, Dylan Gabriel, he's done. Navy, complete run first team. They don't throw the ball. UCF starting a backup quarterback, 56.5. Oh my goodness! I thought the over/under line was going to be like 44. The situation in this, again, Navy doesn't throw the ball. UCF starting a backup quarterback, Dylan Gabriel's out of the picture. The under 56.5, easily, guys. The under in this game. That's like a mid-afternoon game, by the way. Moving on, we've got Washington State plus 7.5 at Cal. Washington State really isn't that bad of a team, and Cal is. Both of these teams are probably evenly matched, but you're giving me 7.5. I'll take it. I think it's a field goal game. Honestly, I could easily see Washington State winning this one outright, but I'm going to go with taking them plus 7.5. That's my 8th bet. Moving on, we've got Louisiana Tech plus 19.5 at NC State. This is another complete Louisiana Tech plus 19.5 at NC State. To me, this is another complete lock. Letdown game for NC State. Louisiana Tech really isn't that bad of a team. We know everyone's high on NC State after their big overtime win at home against Clemson. Complete letdown of a game. This game's going to be close going into the fourth quarter. I think NC State pulls away, maybe even by 2 touchdowns, but they're not covering 19.5. No way. It'll be a competitive football game throughout. Moving on to my last one, Northwestern at Nebraska, the under 51. And this continues my trend of every week I bet the under in a Northwestern game because they really do have a horrific offense and a really sound defense. Pat Fitzgerald, they're really well coached. They're really not going to allow many points. It's going to be low scoring. Nebraska's another team. I love the under in this. Nebraska's a team. They're good on defense. Adrian Martinez, he can make some plays. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing, over 51 in this at all. I think that's an absolute lock. So guys, those are my top 10 bets. I think I will end up doing a separate video for my parlay of the week. I'm not really sure right now. I don't have one picked out, but I've been really struggling with these parlays. I'm going to try and actually nail one here. So I do have an NFL one, guys, if you are interested. I did an NFL picks whatever last week. It got about 30 views. No one watched it. But the parlay in that one, you got the Browns money line versus the Bears. That hit. Titans money line versus the Colts. That hit. Cardinals money line. That hit. The Cowboys is what I need. The Broncos Jets under hit. So we'll have to see if the Cowboys are able to win. That would be an interesting parlay there. So I'm going to really try and hit on my parlay this week. So I might do a separate video. But just once again, guys, those are my top 10 bets. The bet I'm most confident in this week, I would just looking at this board, I would have to say probably the UCF at Navy under 56.5. UCF, new quarterback, Navy, run first team. They're not getting over 56.5. That's a very... Also, I mean, dude, these unders are phenomenal. Northwestern at Nebraska. I love the under in that. Minnesota at Purdue. It's a smaller number, but neither of those teams have shown any ability to really move the ball. The North Carolina one with Sam Howell, it's a Vegas overreaction. I like that. Pitt at Georgia Tech, the under in that one. I'm just banking on, Pittsburgh's quarterback to come down to earth a little bit. Georgia Tech, maybe a closer, low-scoring game. I mean, like 27-24. I think the under still hits in that easily. Charlotte at Illinois under. Yeah, I mean, I like that one too. And then Utah State plus 8.5 versus BYU. I'm a little bit, maybe a little concerned about that Utah State one. Maybe a backdoor cover by BYU. But again, this is a game, Utah State's at home. It's a Friday night game. Weird things happen. BYU's been so great this whole season. I can't see a scenario where BYU continues to just roll over these teams. I think they're going to struggle a little bit against Utah State. They might still win. But again, Utah State doesn't have to win. They just got to keep it within like a touchdown. I think they can do that on a Rockets crowd Friday night at home. I really like them in that matchup. So guys, those are my top 10 overall bets for week. We're already on to week number 5. It feels like it always goes by so quickly. It's so unfortunate. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.